Mean for radicalism here in the UK. Mohammed Shafiq is the chief executive of the Ramadhan Foundation. It's a Muslim organisation that works for the peaceful coexistence of all communities, and we can talk to him now from our Manchester studio. Are you concerned about that the death of Osama Bin Laden could radicalise any young Al-Qaeda sympathisers in this country?
Well, let's be very clear. Osama Bin Laden, Al-Qaeda has the blood of thousands of people on their hands, and it would have been far more appropriate for a man who has been responsible for leading and killing thousands of people to be put on trial in the International Criminal Court, and for the victims of justice, for victims to see that justice had been done. Let's be also very clear that extrajudicial killing is not a form of justice. And I think that's the important thing to make. Whilst the world is a better place without Osama Bin Laden, the Al-Qaeda ideology of killing innocent people and using violence to make their points will go on. We will see an increased risk to our country and our societies, and we've got to remain vigilant. But the important thing to remember is that over the past 5-10 years, we've seen a real hard work between the Muslim community, intelligence agencies, the police, to make sure that we stop the evil of terrorism. And Muslims are united in sending a very strong voice that we will do whatever we can to make sure our country is protected from this evil.
Is it possible to say how the majority of Muslims in this country do view the death of Osama Bin Laden?
Well, I think we're all relieved, but also saddened that the victims or the thousands of people, not just Americans and British citizens, but Muslims also across the whole world have suffered at the hands of this man and his evil ideology. And it would have been far more appropriate for the international community to put him on trial, and so that victims could actually see justice being done. This sort of, like I've said, extrajudicial killing does not achieve justice. And the celebration we've seen in Washington and in the Times Square is an example that we haven't seen victory. Terrorism hasn't disappeared from our streets and our communities, and the mission has not been accomplished, as George Bush would have said if he was speaking up this moment in time.
We do know, though, that security agencies around the world are on heightened alert. So briefly, do you think we are going to see the death of Bin Laden radicalising some young Muslims?
No, I think we've seen a decrease of people have been radicalised. Yes, the threat is real. Yes, we've got to do more. But more importantly, I think what this will send a message out very clear that Al-Qaeda and sympathisers and terrorists and extremists have no place in any part of our society, and the Muslim community totally reject this sort of violence and hatred, and it runs counter to our faith, Islam.
Mohammed Shafiq, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.